Hey guys, welcome to Teal House Farm. Today we're gonna see if we can put trellises in our raised beds without spending a penny. So let's see what we can do. Haha, it is all filled. So what we did, if you've been watching, the bottom is old leaves, twigs, junk hay, big branches that fell off of trees, and then the middle part is compost, and then the very top is half compost, half like potting soil, topsoil mixed all together, nice, light, and fluffy. This one I still have to mix together, which we'll do in a minute, but I wanted to get started on building a trellis. My original plan was to do a nice arched trellis that goes like that between the two beds that the girls could walk through. I thought they would think that was fun and pretty. Maybe we can still make that happen today. But I decided I didn't really want to spend money on a cattle panel. Plus, I know they're not that expensive, but also the logistics of having to go to the city to get one from the larger farm store and get it back here. I would have to use the truck, but the truck only can seat 5 children and me as a driver, and I have 6. So didn't want to, leave somebody home alone. And Sam doesn't really have time to make extra pit stops and stuff with school and work and all that. Don't want him to bother him with my little project, because I can do it myself, right? So instead of doing that, instead of going and getting a cattle panel, I have plenty of T-posts and woven wire and all sorts of different types of fencing here that I've used for trellises in the gardens before. So I'm going to see what I can kind of reclaim and repurpose for this. We don't have to spend any money. We don't have to try to logistically figure out how to go somewhere with all the kids and pick it up. I think we can do it, and I don't think it'll be that hard. So let's see what we can find together. I definitely am going to use some T-posts, and there's already 3 here that I pulled out of the old garden. So we're going to grab these, plus find one more, even if we're just pull it out of the old garden if we need to. Okay, we got all our T-posts. Let's start putting them in. The first couple taps, they go down real fast. When they hit the ground on the bottom, it needs a little more muscle, but it's not too hard overall. 1 in each corner of the bed should do just fine. In the second bed, the dirt is actually all frozen in the bags because it got so cold over the weekend. So I've been letting it thaw out here in the bed, and then I have to get Annie to get a hammer to get some of the bigger chunks broken up so we can really make sure we mix it in really well. Now let's put our T-posts in the second bed now that the top layer is all mixed together. Same thing, get it in the corner and bang it in. I have a couple little helpers who are helping hand me these posts so I don't have to get up and down, which is nice. It's a little tricky on this one. These posts are taller than on the other bed, which won't make a difference on the trellis, but it's trickier getting the cap on so I can bang them in, but we get it done. And let's go on to the next step. It looks pretty nice, but now we need to find some sort of fencing to make our trellis. I keep a pile of old discarded fencing and such behind the old garden, so surely we can find something that might work. First try, we're going to pick some of this stiffer woven wire type fence, but I don't have any really big pieces, so I'm thinking maybe I could piece 2 pieces together, but they're just too bent and curved and just will not straighten out, and so I kind of give up on that idea. Okay, discarding that old fencing, let's try something new. I head into the old garden and I cut down this extra tall chicken wire I used as a tomato trellis last year. And we're gonna splice it in half here because obviously we don't need a super long length. And then we're gonna see if maybe with this more flexible fence, I can pull it really tight to give a straighter trellis. I really don't wanna have to go spend money on a cattle panel if I don't have to. And definitely this is going to work much better. So we're going to have to trim off the end. Obviously I have too much here, but we get that trimmed. And then I'm going to use the old twine from square bales of hay to tie it. No reason to go buy zip ties when we already have all of this twine laying around from all of the hay we feed the goats. When I do the second side, I try real hard to pull as hard as I can. I want the trellis as straight and as tight as possible so it doesn't sag. Construction manager comes up, he has a snacky, so we're gonna go ahead and help him out. He inspects the work and then goes back to his job. And I think we've got it all tied up. The end on the other side's too long, so I trim that down with some tin snips. And then I think that's gonna make a pretty decent trellis. We just need to do the same on the other side. All done. That looks pretty good. There we have it. They aren't going to win any beauty contests, but they're going to be strong enough to support the peas when they grow. And Peas are like a early season food, so they'll die off when it gets real hot in the summer, so they will not be in there for the entirety of the gardening year, weighing down. I thought about doing the trellis with something like squash on it, but they get so big and so heavy, I would really think I would probably have to invest in a cattle panel and figure out how to go pick that up, and I didn't want to do that. So our adjustment is to grow something like peas that's going to be lighter and going to be only part of the season. Thanks so much for watching. Next time we'll be back out here and we will be actually planting our first raised bed for our early spring. So come back and check it out.